everybody, it's Christine with Cocoa Daisy, and I'm excited to share some projects with you. The first one that I'm going to share with you is a planner setup using the planner kit. And these are all from the Chapters of September collection. That is our September collection. But honestly, you could use this any kind of summer, early fall. I believe it's just kind of the perfect transition, the perfect colors and imagery. It works really, really well. It's very cozy with the books and the tea. So let's dig in. And this is my, like I said, I'm using the planner kit, just kind of a couple of different ideas. If you do a ring bound system like I have here, it's nice because you have all of the bits and pieces for your daily pages, for all of your other pages as well. This is just kind of something that I like to show for the daily pages. And it comes with, and this is something new and I'm really excited about this because it's super cool. This great magnetic clip, and it looks like a library card. And I wouldn't sandwich a lot between this, but you could definitely use it as a bookmark also. But it will hold a couple of cards on a page or an extra note, a sticky note, if you have a regular notepad too. This is actually a sticky note pad, but you could do the fun little calendar card. You could hold that on there as well. There's a lot of things that, I used a few bits and pieces on here, but there's so much that comes with the kit. So I'm just going to kind of show you some of those things as well. We have one of the new mild liners from Zebra that has the stamp tip, and it has the cute little daisies. So the one end has the little daisy stamp, and then the other end is just the regular highlighter tip or mild liner tip. So that is a lot of fun. That's new. We have the great washi tape with the books and the jams, and it's just so homey, so fun. I added a little pet sticker on there from the pet sticker sheet. These are super nice and thin. I added my little crock pot, figuring you're starting to get cozy mealtime. I use this little section for my meal plan, and that is from this set that comes in the planner kit. It has the great little icons. I also used on the tabs from the die cuts. These will actually fit perfectly on the tabs. So I added one of those. I did my date on there. And then I also, you get this great little pen and a stamp color. You can test your ink colors, if you do fountain inks, you could do that, or your nib size or whatever you want on there. And then it has the cute little saying on the front. You also get, there's a lot in this planner kit. You also get the two pockets. They're adhesive. Normally I make a pocket. I did not do that this time. I think what I'm going to end up doing, I absolutely love the dashboards. They are so, so pretty. So I think what I'm going to end up doing is deciding which dashboard I want to use and then adding a pocket to the back of that. I have both sizes. You get the A5 or the personal. I just have to decide when I do my planner setup how I want to do that with my pockets. So I'm definitely going to be using these. That's why I didn't stick them down on the cardstock that comes with the kit, because I know I wanted to use the dashboard. So we'll see what I end up doing with that. And then the other thing I wanted to show you is how I used the kit in a notebook. And you get this amazing, you get this amazing orange clip. Isn't that gorgeous? I love this for using it with a notebook. I just added the dates down along the stripe page. And I thought it was a kind of a neat way to show an example of if you wanted to use those stripe pages as a tracker or a gratitude journal. You know, we're getting in toward that time of fall and that time of year, and we kind of start to think that way. Or, if you're one of those people that does a gratitude journal every day, or any other kind of topic that you want to do some sort of daily journaling with, I think it's works really, really well, or even a tracker of some sort. So all I did here is I added a couple of the pet stickers, some of the alpha stickers for the little title, and I kind of did an overall idea of what's going on over here. So why am I doing this? And then I just started a few actual entries on here. Now I used sticker paper and printed these out. Obviously you can write them, that is fine, but I just feel like this is just kind of a better presentation for you to see than my chicken scratch. But again, I like the little dates on there. I added one of the tabs and one of the other little headers to go in the tab. So I think that turned out really well. And I love this for holding the notebook open as well. This is a standard size notebook, just for reference. So that's just a couple of things that you can do with the planner kit. Let's take a look at something I created using the journaling kit. Actually, it's using the journaling kit and the stamp from the stamp subscription. I thought it would be fun to show you a couple ways, kind of group those two things together. So one thing I did want to mention, the stamp set, the font that we use for the numbers and the days of the week on here is the same font as the Bumble font that we used in August. So if you were one of the lucky people to get one of these last month, because I believe this is currently sold out, this font matches that. So that's a really, really nice thing to have, is to have the numbers and the alpha match. But I'm using the inserts here that I'm using are the classic vertical inserts. And you've seen me use these before. And I love to give different examples on ways to break up these vertical layouts, and just kind of some different ideas on what to fill in these pages. Sometimes you don't have a lot going on. You don't have large to-do lists. You don't need 3 spaces. A lot of people will fill in the boxes. You can do that. The nice thing about the journaling kit is it has these 2 sheets of patterned paper that are basically just big stickers. You could cut these in squares to fill in those spaces. I used a strip of the beautiful washi tape just to kind of separate this from this, and I've done that before. You've seen me do that before. You could cut washi strips out of these. You could use the washi strips that are included on the sticker sheet as well. There's also a great alpha in here. But what I did is I thought it would be, so you can do the gratitude, you can do, what have we done in the past? I'm trying to think of the other things that I've done along the bottom that have been kind of fun. But this month, I thought it would be neat to do September musings. So it's not necessarily gratitude or a tracker of any sort. It's just a snippet of something that just made you stop and reflect that day, maybe, or just something that caught your eye. And I thought that was kind of fun. So I just kind of added those down there. I added my to-dos, and then just kind of interspersed a few of the great stickers. There's some sayings that I cut up. So I used this one here on there. There's the teas, books, blankets, repeat. I used that one. And then the this is the season. I put that on there. I thought that was fun. So just kind of added some stickers here and there. And I like this one here too, and just kind of layered that one a little bit. And then I added, oh, this is something else I wanted to show you. So so clearly you can see it wasn't from this sheet. This sheet I used in a different project. But I took that tag and that tea bag, and I put them on plain white cardstock and then cut them out, and I turned them into die cuts. I raised them up with a little bit of foam adhesive, and then using my tiny attacher stapler, I attached a piece of string. And so it gives this great dimension to the page. I mean, obviously you could leave them flat if you don't like any bulk in your planner, but I wanted a little bit of dimension on the page, and I thought it would be neat to show you how you can take these things and turn them into die cuts by just putting them on plain white cardstock and then cutting out around them. So I did that. I used the stamp set for the dates, and then I also used the Wednesday. I stacked that so you can see you have the days of the week. They're separate, so you can do different colors if you wanted to. So you could do the Wednesday in one color and then the day in another color. This, I kept the day of the week all one color, stacked it, and then I used the little word plans along the side. This one you can see where I did Sunday and then chill. I did that on the bottom. So really kind of turned out cute, and I love this set with the days of the week. I love kind of adding those into the space. It breaks up all the type a little bit. And you could stamp these in a light enough color, and even this kind of yellow I think is light enough. If you had a longer to-do list, you could put that right over top of the numbers. You wouldn't have to start your to-do list underneath. So that's a look at what I did for a weekly setup using the journaling kit. All right, how about some fun doodles? I love how this turned out. I had a blast with this. So this is, I'm using the Deluxe journaling kit for this layout. And it was done in the A5 notebook. So it's our A5 notebook. I was very inspired. So in the scrapbooking kit, we have this awesome Make a Tea Bag stamp set. And I wanted to doodle some tea bags. So I wanted to show you, I didn't want to use the stamp set. The stamp set is part of the scrapbooking kit. And my goal with these projects is to show you how you can take what's in the kit. Maybe the stamp set I'm showing that with it, but mostly everything that's just in the kit and then what you can create with it. I like to try to stick to that. So I'm like, and I had so much fun doodling that French dip sandwich that I did for June. I'm like, all right, I'm going to doodle a tea bag. And so what I did is I did a week is what I wanted to do. And I did it on 2 pages in my notebook. I broke it down. I don't remember how many. I counted the grids out. I just used a ruler and a pen, and I just kind of spaced those out, and it left me with, so I did 4 per page, and then it left me with 1 section to do just notes. And then what I did along the bottom, I started with, I doodled on a spare piece of paper because I wanted them to be somewhat uniform. So I created and I'm pretty kind of a perfectionist. So I wanted them all to look uniform. So I did one nice doodle and then I traced it. But what I did different each time is where I would put the little tag, and then I just had fun with the strings so that it kind of filled in the space nice and you could layer them. I obviously did that all in pencil first, then went over it with a pen and filled it in, and it turned out really, really cute. I loved the little coffee mug. But what I had the most fun with was adding the patterns inside each tea bag using pattern paper and some of the vellum stickers. So I went through, and those, and this is a question we get all the time, well, what can we use those vellum stickers for, the large ones that look like pattern paper? So you can always cut these into whatever pieces or size you want. So if you want to cut them into squares, if you use that kind of a planning system, or if you like to break things down when you bullet journal, you can turn them into strips and make washi strips out of them. I actually just kind of freeform cut out some pieces to fit in the tea bags. So it looks like that's the contents of the tea, and I think it turned out really, really, really cute. So I did these. I did a little bit of the pattern paper as well. I cut into that, and you could even have cut all of these out if you wanted to and used them with the tea bags. That would be a fun way to use the paper. I had this pretty yellow. I used that as a filler as well. Isn't that cute? Cute, cute, cute paper. This blue is really pretty too. So I could have cut that down. I also cut out a little bit of, I think, yeah, this one in there and used that too. And then I just added a few of the other stickers on here. I think that the September, if I remember right, I think those are from the Rub-Ons that come in the kit. And then this was from the Rub-Ons. What I did down here, so you get this great textured background stamp. I love this for layering. It makes it real simple to add a little bit of dimension and texture. And I used the one that I was using to as my master doodle that I traced for each one. I used it also as a mask, so when I would stamp this, it wouldn't stamp over top of. And so I ended up with that in the background in a few spots, and I love that. It gives it just a little bit more, right? It kind of grounds it, and then I layered the one of the rub-ons over top of it. So I had my lines, I had my doodles, I filled those in, loved how that turned out. And then I wanted to add the days of the week. And I used the stamp set from the stamp subscription to add in the Monday, Tuesday, Wednesday, and so on. And I did them in the 2 colors. And that's what I love about this, is that you can layer these because the day is separate from each first part of the weekday. And then you have this fun little hello, chill, and plans, which you can layer with stuff. I just added the plans here with the word important, but you could totally add like Friday plans or hello Friday, whatever you wanted to do. And then the fun floral. And the floral is meant to build around the days of the week or the numbers. And again, check out my stamping video and I show you what I mean by that. Just kind of added them in here in different colors, and love the little dots there, kind of again with that texture idea. And then I have that section to add a few little things if I want to. I just love how this turned out. It turned out so cool. I added the dates with the from the vellum sticker sheet as well. So that is my super fun weekly spread using the Deluxe journaling kit.